Hey traders, TG Watkins here. It's July 6th when I'm recording this. I hope everybody had a great 4th of July weekend, and this is your Daily 5. All right, so a couple things that I wanted to point out in through here. We've been seeing some divergences in the markets starting to set up. You can see in through here. This is the number of stocks over their 20-day SMA, number of stocks over their 50-day SMA, and over their 200-day SMA. And at least with the 20-day SMA, you can see that we get some divergences before the market tends to stop going up or pull back or roll over or something like that. And so that's kind of your leading indicator telling you that not as many stocks are going up as the market itself. So, stocks are starting to fall off and not lead, and that just more and more start to do that. That means that the rest of the market tends to come down. So you can just see here that every time that the 20-day tends to fall off, well, yes, the market can keep going up for a little bit, but it does tend to come down. 20-day fell off. Yep, it went up a little bit, but then came down. This one was the tricky one. This was a very interesting one that we saw in April going into May. Had something kind of do with the debt ceiling and all that kind of stuff. But you could see even here, it started to come off, and that basically precluded the market going sideways. And that was something we were definitely watching. This very, very interesting. Then we saw it re-engage here, and that helped lift the rest of the market. Well, we've had a few good weeks with the market. Number one, we had a very overbought, and then we came into 4th of July week, and we had a really big run into the 4th of July. And that is a seasonal thing. It tends to happen. It's something to look for. So, maybe write it down in your trading journal, and you can take advantage of a bullish run into 4th of July, maybe into the future. But anyway, we're seeing that fewer stocks are participating. Overall, the market is still strong, so we're seeing that. But right now, we could look at a little bit of resting for the market. Now, let me show you some other examples. So here is a stock. This is, let's see, get my right color. There we go, IonQ. And what I want to show you here is this is just I think a representation of what the SPY, with the NASDAQ, what the market could do. Because I do think the market is pretty strong. It's just that it got overbought. And part of that means that we got price outside of these third ATRs, very overbought, kind of pulled away from moving averages and got just overbought. And what we can see is we had the initial pullback here on IonQ on the daily chart. So the daily chart pulled back into the daily 21. That's exactly what the S&P did going into the 4th of July weekend. And you can see here we had price move up, and what it do? Basically came into a resistance area, a double top, that kind of thing. And from there, it had to pull back yet again. And so, this looks like a pretty serious pullback. And, if you're trying to ride through that and look at it, yeah, it's pretty tough. In fact, it even broke the daily 21 this time, and, it's looking pretty scary. But what happened is you look at this, and here's a support level, then you get a double bottom, and price decides to go up. So this is how a strong stock behaves, is that it may not necessarily want to go down too much. It might actually just kind of need to rest and go sideways until it gets closer to moving averages. Maybe it needed to get a little bit closer to the daily 50. Maybe it needed to come right in here into the weekly 8 EMA, and then it was able to move up. And again, you could see a little overbought because outside of that third ATR, just like that. So it kind of comes in waves, in phases like that. And we might be experiencing the same thing with the market overall. So let's go take a look at this. Now this is back in 2020, and we know how strong that market was. It was a very, very crazily bullish market. And even in that market, we had a couple longer periods of consolidation, of flagging. So let's take a look at what that looked like. Now the first one here that I have with the arrow, you can see that we had price get up and outside of its third ATR. Very similar to what IonQ did, very similar to what the SPY is doing right now. And we got an initial pullback. Then we got a bounce, and then we had another pullback before needing to go up. Ultimately, what that did was a double bottom here on the daily chart. On the weekly chart, that pulled back into the weekly 21. Now, right now, I don't know if the SPY is going to need to go all the way down to its weekly 21. We just don't know. We don't know if the SPY is going to need to come into its daily 50 or below its daily 50. All we know is that the market is kind of pretty high, and it's probably just working its way through some digestion, some flagging, all of that. Now the next one, we could also see on the weekly chart, we got a little overbought. Third ATR, you can see the same thing on the daily chart, all that kind of stuff. And this was a bigger pullback. This one was really quite serious. Big pullback there, but then it found some support, and what did it do? double top, came right up into previous resistance, it rolled over again, and then we came back down, retested the low area, double bottom. And you can see just basically flagging in through here until it finally decided to go. And it was the same thing here, just kind of flagging in through here before it decided to go. And again, it happened to pull back to the weekly 21 back there when we were dealing with this in 2020. So let's go to where we are currently and let's see what we're looking at. Well, a couple things to note. Currently, you can see here, price ran up into its third ATR twice. So the first one, we definitely could see that this was overbought. Heck, you could even see that it was up here at the weekly third ATR. And so we were expecting that pullback. And that pullback came right into the 21 EMA, just like it came into the 21 EMA here also. Then we got that run into 4th of July, and it got a little overbought. Up there, it's gapping off the moving average. It's running right into the double top, and again with that third ATR. So everything just said, it still probably needs to digest. Now, we don't know how it's going to digest. We don't know if it's going to maybe stay up in this area and just kind of keep going sideways until it goes higher. We don't know if it's going to need to get closer to the 50 by going down. And we don't know if it's going to maybe just go sideways until the 50 comes and meets it, and then it can go up. So we just don't know how it's going to do it. All we know is that price is getting a little overbought, and be prepared that price could come down a bit, so or go sideways. We're going to just have to see how that works out. Of course, there are names that will be taking a break, also doing kind of what the market did, but there are names that are still going to go up in this kind of environment because, well, generally speaking, the market is still strong. And then if we look at UNM, just another example of something I want to show you, you can see, look, every time that price got up to that third ATR, it pulled back. Now, some pullbacks were shallow, some were big. Maybe that was earnings right there. Well, we'd have to see. But, the point is still there, third ATR, and what did it do? It went sideways until something changed it. And then you can see here, third ATR, even here, third ATR, and each time there was a bit of a pullback. And on this most recent one, you can see basically a flag. Yes, it had a little thing up there, but basically it was a flag until it finally caught some traction and then started to move up. This is just another example, another representation of what the SPY could be doing. We could be moving up like this, but ultimately, what if it just kind of goes sideways for a while until it finds whatever support it wants? Maybe that support is the weekly 8. We're not sure. We don't know if it's going to be the weekly 21, but we need it to just chill out and rest for a little bit and then let it decide when it wants to go back up again. And I think that's kind of what we're dealing with right now. So thanks again for tuning into your Daily 5. My name is TG Watkins. You guys can come over to simplertrading.com and check out Moxie Indicator. If you guys like what I teach about the indicator and how I view the markets, come on over. You can also check out the Profit Pilot newsletter. We have a special link here for you. Man, we're always running kind of some deals or coupons if you guys want to come and check out the trading room or pick up the Moxie Indicator. Of course, we have all of the social medias if you're interested. But in the we also have the Moxie Indicator on StockCharts, and we also have the trading room. So if you guys are interested, come on over. We have a full package over there. We'd love to see you there. And until next time, enjoy.